And we're live. Welcome back, everybody. So last time we went live, we spent our time explaining why the cyber pipelines for veterans is broken. Tonight's different. This isn't an intro and it's not a refresh. It's just an update. Since the last conversation, Cyber RST has moved from idea to build phase. Real programs, real partnerships, real constraints. We're still early. We're still pre-seed, and that's intentional. The purpose of tonight is simple: to show what's been built, what's in motion, and what it actually takes to move from a good idea to real infrastructure. We're not here to sell anyone on cyber as a magic solution. We're not here to run a pitch deck, and we're definitely not here to overpromise outcomes. What we are doing is opening the door for the right kind of support: operators, partners, philanthropic capital, people who understand that building something real takes time, discipline, and funding before it looks sexy. If you're here to just watch, great. If you're here because you've been asking, okay, what's next? That is this conversation. So by the end of this live, you're going to know what's been built since the last time we ran this. And I don't remember when we did it, Jesse, you'll have to remind me where the bottlenecks actually are and what kind of investment or support generally helps at this stage. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Jesse Davis, the founder and CEO of Cyber RST, and his team. Fellas, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man. I'm excited to do this. Jesse, the floor is yours, man. You got a whole hour here. Let's accomplish your goals, man.
Fair enough. I've been at it with my COO, Bill Helton, and we've met Mr. Pradeep, who is very interested in our idea, and we want to, again, fix cybersecurity. The barriers that we've been running into are
Hold on a minute, Jesse. I want to stop you right there because Pradeep wasn't on the first live, and
yeah, that's true.
And you have since met Pradeep, who believes in your program. And we actually talked about this in the green room, but I think it's important to bring up. After the first live, there was a lot of people who disagreed with your assessment of the cybersecurity space, and it's not lost on me that you've met Mr. Pradeep, who is a successful tech founder and CEO himself, who believes in what you've put together. So, if you don't mind, I would like Pradeep to tell everybody who's listening, anybody who will view this later on, why you're actually right and why the pushback is kind of unnecessary. Because if he believes in it, I mean, that means it's got legs. So if you don't mind, Mr. Pradeep.
Thank you, Adam. And nice to meet you, everyone, on this podcast, and the broader audience on this live here. So, like Jesse, like you, Bill, and I connected a couple of days back. I think the problem is real. We are not talking about the cyber problem, but cyber problem is originating from the skill gap. If you look at a couple of reports, and I will do my introduction in a bit here. If you look back into the report of ISU or IBM and the various analyst report, the problem is real. As of 2025 year end, we are looking at 4.9 million cyber people are needed. It could be SOC analysts, it could be AI security people, it could be people who need to identify the threats. There are too many tools, but there are not too many people. Think of that, right? So, by the way, my name is Pradeep Sandhu. I'm ex-Deloitte partner. I recently left the job to start this new company, which is called Cyfort, supported by Cywarden, which is providing the services. The number one problem we are solving is right now we are looking forward to hire around 45 plus people, and we are not finding the best ones. Like for each role, we are talking to at least 20 to 25 people to zero down on one, and the entire industry is competing for the same talent. So I would put it in this way, Jesse. The problem you are solving is real, and not just the education. It's a practical, hands-on experience problem also. So if you are running towards it, that's what I understood you are. So yeah, go for it because you are solving the bigger problem for enterprises like us.
We are definitely working towards that. It has been a major issue. And now, so to give you an example, last year there was a 73% decline in initial hiring for initial entry positions, meaning they don't have that experience. Another issue is that HR has been put in place to go in what they think they need, right? Because of the company that they're with. So the HR is a major hangup. You've got the company is a major hangup. And then you have individuals, again, with the cert mills and the degree mills. They're not being where they need to be. And again, you've got to look at it just like a carpenter needs a hammer. Just because they got the hammer and they've read a book doesn't mean they're going to be able to build a house.
Correct.
So in this situation, the best thing that we can do is, with our company, what we're doing is building a hands-on environment. What I mean by that is that we've got sandboxes to where it's going to be controlled, and they're going to be able to tear up, right? They're going to make mistakes, and the one thing that I've been taught in the military is resiliency. Just how tough can things be? And I'm telling you, I've faced a tough time. This is probably one of the craziest projects I've taken in my entire life. I've gotten a lot of no's, but I know, as Sean Connery once said, 20 no's and 1 yes still means yes, right? So if I can get that 1 yes, that's what I'm after, because I know what Bill and I have is real. And yes, there's been a lot of pushback. The generation that's ahead of us think some of them think they've got it solved. But the problem is they don't. Things are changing. They're rapidly changing with the advent and the invention of AI. Obviously, AI has been there for a bit now, but now it's global. Everyone is using it. The old school of, hey, I looked at Google, it's gone. AI's there.
Yeah, it's commercially available for everybody in the
everyone.
Public. Whereas before you had to be a big corporation, right? Yeah.
Exactly.
And what we want to do is we're incorporating. They're going to have to deal with an actual situation. How are they going to react to it? We have red team, blue team, purple team. One of the guys on our team that has agreed to come on is literally top 10 in the nation with NATO dealing with red team, and knows, he's a veteran himself, knows that this is a real situation, right? Again, and I know I talked about it in the ready room, China has now made an AI where it's trying to hack us 24/7, 365 days a year. What do humans do? They go to sleep. AI is not. It's a machine, right? And it's just a program. That's all it is, but it's running constantly trying to find a weakness.
Right.
And now hackers are literally going back to some of the stuff we knew in the 90s, bro. The 1990s. They're like, oh, well, they're not paying attention to this, and we're going to throw that out. And even though it's old and nobody's really thinking about it right now, you're not. I have not. I've gotten plenty of no's. And what I mean by that is, obviously I can't mention some of the companies, but they're like, well, what makes you different? I'm not a cert mill. We're taking the certifications, we're not getting rid of the traditional aspect. And I encourage everyone to get an education. How you become educated is on you, right?
When I think this is important, Jesse, right here, is you're saying you're not a cert mill. And to refresh those who are just tuning in, didn't listen last time or missed it, or for whatever reason, just not familiar with your own story. You founded this company because, well, I'll let you tell your own story, but it's really a testament to what you're talking about. It's why you've created the sandbox. I learned a lot from you last time. I'm not in the cybersecurity realm. I do love AI, and we talked about that earlier. However, I didn't realize, I was like, well, why is it so hard? If you did cyber in the Army for 20 years or just in the military in general, why can you not have that hands-on experience when you get out? I didn't know that the military system is the only one in the world. That framework only exists in the military. You don't see that anywhere else in the world. So just tell everybody where you came up with this idea and what you mean by cert mills, and how Cyber RST is completely changing the game away from those cert mills. Because look, I could fall victim in the AI space to the cert mills. There's a million of them popping up every single day. And I've done some of the free ones, and I'm like, you can figure this out in 15 minutes with your own brain and, access to an LLM, right? So why are they charging thousands of dollars or hundreds of dollars for these certs? So if you wouldn't mind, just clue everybody into your own story, to include how many times you applied to get the lowest level position.
I applied over 1,400 times to get the help desk job that I had. And before that, dealing with everything that's gone on with the government, I couldn't even get a true cyber position. I was working on acquisitions after I got medically, discharged from the military. I have not had a chance to actually take what I've learned and apply it. It's all been a book. And what I mean by cert mill, even the colleges and universities, I've been teaching college the last 6-7 years. They're taking what the major cert companies have, those certifications, and they're teaching them in a college course. They're not really changing what's there. And then you've got what is the true problem is that they're getting the certs and they can't get a job. It's the same thing with the degree. There's no jobs. The American educational system is failing us. It is failing us. And what I mean by that is that I paid off $88,000 in student loan debt my first go around. Used my GI Bill to get this master's degree. Like, go cyber, you know, it's up and coming. Well, now companies are not investing in it. They're just like, they would rather pay somebody the ransomware or go pay the insurance. And the cap right now, I can't mention the group I'm a part of, but they mentioned the highest cap you can get is $250 million for cyber insurance. So that means if you get hacked, like Target, for example, they literally broke that insurance. Obviously, the premiums have gone way up. And here's the pathetic part. They knew about it months ahead of time. The FBI said, hey, you guys have a vulnerability. You need to get this fixed. And again, the bottom line is the dollar. They don't give two rats about what's going to happen. And it proved a point that they don't care about their customer. Right. What we want to fix is, yeah, I know we're a for-profit company, but they're going to get their hands on in this along with the certs, along with their college hours. Why can't you get it all in one location? Mm-hmm. And that's what I was trying to fix, because I was like, you know, I've been teaching certs on the side, but I was like, dude, there's such a flooded market. Yeah. And the problem is that they've cornered the market on their little piece, right? And now that you've got ISCA getting their hands on CMMC and no one else can have it, isn't that a monopoly? Which I thought was illegal, right? Mm-hmm. So again, each one has their little monopoly and they don't know how to move past that. To me, here's what I love about capitalism. To keep the price down on something, you have to have competition, right? There has to be
a free market for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we have to have more hands-on. And if there's competitors out there, fine. Everybody's talking about workforce development, but not one person that I've met with has said, hey, you know what we need to do? Where's the hands-on? We need to give them a mentorship with a residency. And what I mean by that, and Bill's actually when they came up with the idea, we need to have them at a company where they can learn about the culture of that company and see if they're a good fit. And it's a good way for the company and for the individuals. It's like, you know what, this is not my place. So there's no hard feelings. There's no ill will, but they still got something out of it. And they're like, okay, I now have hands-on between the company and, you know, in the civilian market and the actual, you know, getting that hands-on that they're so vitally needing, that companies are needing. Now, what you talked about with the military, like we talked about last time, is people are leaving the military after 5, 10, 20 years and have a ton of cyber experience. But here we go on the civilian market. They're not getting certifications, but yet they can't get a job. Mm-hmm. Can you explain to me why? These guys are a hell of a lot better trained than I am. They've done it. They're dealing with the worst of the worst worldwide, right? And I would kill to know what these guys know, right? I would love to see what they get to do on a day-to-day basis. Obviously, I'm older and I missed out. But I'll tell you what, if I try to, when I was a recruiter for 10 years, I would encourage them like, hey, man, if you really want a cool job, you go drone, be a drone pilot, or go into cyber, man. Work in the intel. I said, we're in a new Cold War. If you want an exciting job, that's where you need to be, other than if you're going to go shoot things and blow stuff up. But obviously, that's not going to get you a job on the outside. If you just want to drive a tank, I understand. Driving a tank, you know, is not going to lie. My dad was a tanker. It was cool, dude. Like in the 1990s, getting to ride a tank is amazing.
Here's the same thing.
If I jump in here, Jesse?
Yeah, Bill, give me just a second, because we just had a comment come in. It says a lot of job postings in cyber ask for 1 to 3 years of experience in specific tools and systems. Your average college grad doesn't have, with the certifications, doesn't have that. We talked about that last time, actually. I remember that very distinctly. And Bill, once you get done with your piece, I have a really good question for you and Jesse and Pradeep on, we know the numbers of jobs that we need, but Jesse, you're kind of contradicting that by saying there's no jobs, right? So we're going to have to dive into that a little bit to make that a little bit more clear. Bill, go ahead.
So before coming with Cyber RST, I've had a couple of startups and so forth. One of them was actually a successful MSSP. For people not familiar with the acronym, that's a managed security services provider, or it's your outsourced IT department for companies. And as I grew my company, the cost of hiring talent is a real issue. Mm-hmm. And people are like, well, you hire them, you put them to work. You know, they've got their certification. It does not work that way. When I would hire somebody and they came from the military, you know, and I'm a vet just like Jesse, Adam, just like you. whenever I brought in a military veteran that didn't inside experience yet, there was a retooling that I had to do. So what they learn on the military side, without getting to all this stuff, but they're taught to play both offense and defense on cyber at the same time. So not only are they doing cybersecurity defense, but they're actively attacking the threat that's causing the cybersecurity incident in the first place. Civilian side, we're not allowed to do that. We are only allowed to play defense. Our government is the only one allowed to play offense. So there's an immediate retooling on methodology to start off with. Second, the tools that they use in the military don't exist on the civilian side. So there's also a tool fluency that you've got to go through as well on teaching them, because the methodologies are different on what we're allowed and not allowed to do ethically. You have to teach them now also how to work in the tool sets that we have available to us. And you've got to go through that shift change. So getting somebody onboarded, they're right now at 0% efficiency. I cannot use them for anything in the company yet because I got to put them straight into training.
So what's the timeline on that training like, Bill?
Minimum for a veteran coming out of the cyber arena, 6 months.
So that's a big problem because that's costing you 6 months of gainful employment as a company owner, right? But it's necessary to get them up to speed, right? No fault of their own.
No, it's no fault of their own. But yeah, you got 6 months time investment. You've got wages. You've got benefits. You've got trainers that you're having to pay. That is a high margin to bring somebody in. Go ahead, Pradeep.
And I was telling Bill, the problem doesn't stop there, because the moment you hire someone, you train someone, and we are living it off the bat. The moment the person learns a little bit, he started getting offer from other competition, and by the time he's trained for you either you lose him to the market, or that person is by default looking for opportunities because he now knows more. And that's where Adam, to Jesse's point, that's the reason it is hard to crack, because one, the threat surface is changing, tools which is getting integrated with the traditional legacy tools. Problem number one, difficult to find the person who knows the tools 20 years back on-prem, and difficult to get a person who knows greatest and latest. And second one, I think someone posted the comment that you want a person with 2 to 3 years of experience in AI cyber, but is there enough experience roaming around so that a person can be trained and can be consumed? So I think the reason why it is difficult to crack problem is because there are not enough people, and the people who know the stuff, they are lost into the noise of into various conversations. So the depth is missing big time. If you ask a person, tell me about AI, tell me about cyber, they can talk very good. Then you go one level down, then they can talk a little about it, and then you say, okay, can you do me how to do this? And that's where they say, oh no, I have not done that, I can talk about it, but I can manage the team doing these things. I'm not saying those people doesn't exist. There are less people. Mm-hmm. We need more people. And the curveball is, we want to use cyber AI for cyber, like AI to fight against AI.
Well, that's coming. I mean, hands down, it's coming.
And that's coming. And number of people who knows AI for AI cyber is even less than 1%. What we need.
Well, I mean, just the number of people who know AI, actually know AI, is less than 1%. I see it every day because I'm in the space, and you'd be amazed. Just going to do an entrepreneurship panel, to be on an AI panel, and 50 people line up to talk to you who've never touched a large language model. That's where we're at, right? So the technology is advancing so fast. There's a lot of pushback against the technology. This is a nightmare, Jesse. I don't envy you at all. Sorry, brother. I love you to death, man. But you have chosen probably the path of most resistance.
Yeah, and Jesse, what you are working on building is creating a factory where you can create the army of people who can solve this problem. We are building a platform which is AI plus cyber, which is a cusp of both the things and best of the breed, that can solve the problem of needing more people maybe in a year or two, right? But to get there to that platform, we still need good people who know these things, right? So industry wants to solve a problem with AI and with security, but you need first people who can build that one. So I think to start with, Jesse, to your point, the reason I'm here is just to emphasize more on this problem, what you're solving for. This is going to solve for the bigger community like founders like me who need people to build something great for.
So what you're saying, Pradeep, initially is you're going to be a customer of Cyber RST's training pipeline.
That's what our goal is. That's our goal is, right?
I mean, what more proof do you need, Jesse, to validate your idea than, a tech founder right here in the cyberspace saying he's your customer, right? He's on this live right now saying he's your customer. Obviously, this is a real problem. I don't know why the pushback comes. I think it's just people get too big for their britches and think that they know more than people who are actually building something real. But it's just wild to me that this experience gap exists. And man, I see so many problems here, and I just kind of itching to fix them. But I don't have the first clue how to fix them. And clearly, Jesse, you're breaking your neck trying to fix them.
Trying.
It's we're all forget breaking our necks. We're breaking our backs in the same process. But but is this can this problem be solved? The answer is yes. And there's other industries that have proven models of how to do it. Yes, our model is still very unique to us, but there are other industries that have done similar things. And I'm just going to bring up one. I want to talk about medical for a second. Everybody loves to pick on medical, and I'm going to jump on the bandwagon for a second, break their back for a minute, but actually give them a kudos. Imagine taking a medical student right out of med school, them show up to a hospital, and the chief of surgery look at him and go, "All right, scrub in, you're doing open heart surgery today on this guy." The hell I am.
Right.
But we've got the same mentality, though, for our IT and our cyber operators, that when they get a certification, they got a degree, that they're supposed to be able to show up to a company and be 100% productive day one.
Well, so, and Bill, to caveat what you're saying, to add to what you're saying, look, I'm guilty of this. I did a thing with IVMF when they launched their Google cybersecurity free for veterans, all their certificates. You can cheat the system. You can get those certificates and not learn a damn thing. I'm sure that's also another huge problem, right?
Problem.
It becomes this check the block. I know we call them certificate mills and all of that, and that makes it sound like it's none of the onus is on the person going through the certification to take it seriously and actually learn the stuff. But also, if it's a check the block for me getting out of the military and I desperately need a salary to feed my family of 5, I'm going to do whatever it takes to check those blocks. You know what I'm saying?
Agreed. I agree.
Agreed.
And it is basic human reality. It's basic human instinct. What are you going to do to survive? Yeah. Right. What I meant earlier when I was saying that there's no jobs, but there are jobs. Yes, there's jobs, but again, they're wanting 1 to 3 experience, like John had mentioned in that message. They're wanting 1 to 3 years experience. They're wanting CISP for somebody just coming out of college. That's an expert level certification. Okay. Whatever they're drinking, I would love to join them on their trip and smell the color purple too, right? When HR puts that out, they're crazy. Again, the companies, especially Fortune 500 and up, they're not really looking at the problem. Look, Louisiana has one of the worst educational systems in the country. But if Louisiana State University can figure it out, why can't we? And what I mean by that is the college students that are coming in, they're interested in IT cyber. They set up their own sockets. They have 39 colleges, give or take, within the Louisiana State University system, like just Louisiana State. So that's community colleges and such. They fall under the Louisiana State umbrella. And what they're doing is they set up a SOC. They pay them as a student employee. They're paying them and they're training them. And it's saving Louisiana State University a ton of money because they have their own SOC and they have a literal endless supply of students coming through. So if Louisiana State University can figure it out, please tell me why the rest of the universities, the collegiate system cannot. Please tell me when I'm reaching out in Canada, Australia, and Europe, they're all facing the same problem, and even in India that I've reached out to, right? And I'm telling you, I've reached across the pond, and it is the same problem everywhere. It is not a hard problem to fix, and I have just a minor solution right now. The JRTC, Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps in high school, has a Cyber Ranger Club. And again, this old school thing, we'll start training them junior, senior year. No, that's too late. We're behind. When what's India? 1.2 billion and counting? China's 1.1 and going down. They still got a lot of people. They got a lot of bodies that they can throw at stuff. right? Huawei put 10,000 PhDs into AI, 10,000 PhDs to create their AI, right? That's at Huawei. That's a town, man. That's half of my hometown population. They're just like, come here. You're going to sit down here and we're going to make this, right? Different mentality, obviously. But we have an endless supply of students. If we start freshman year of high school, these kids are looking to serve their nation, and we can train them. You know how much money that would save the military every year? Quite a bit. You start them freshman year, and they're already ready to go. That's 4 years of experience by the time they leave high school, whether they go reserves, guard, or active duty. And even if they don't, let's say they cannot join medically or they haven't graduated high school, guess what? You can take them and shove them in the industry. By the time they leave, they've got their certs and they got hands-on. And yeah, they may not have a college degree, but they've got that vital piece that's so needed, and that's the hands-on. That's a little start right there.
Well, as you're already saying, the college degree doesn't even matter, right? Like it's the experience. That's the thing that you need. And I relate this to when I was in high school. We had a vocational track that you could go to another high school and work like carpentry or electrician, plumber. That's what you're saying needs to start happening in these high schools. Is you got to have some kind of cyber pipeline. You're building a cyber pipeline for those primarily coming out of the military, so they don't have to go and apply to 1,400 different places before they get a help desk job in acquisitions. But this can be applied across the industries, correct?
Yeah, easily.
And I think, Jesse, and spot on. When you're talking about the depth, when you're talking about the scale. Now look at another challenge which you are indirectly solving for it. Like traditional infrastructure, traditional applications, traditional products from the broader standpoint are dealing with vulnerability backlog. Go to any enterprise, you would see at least a couple of million vulnerabilities open there. The first problem is people don't know which are 0-day versus priority 1, priority 2, priority 3 vulnerabilities. So various security tools are solving for it. I'm not going because that's where one of the problems we are solving for. But to get there, to have the tools worked, still there is a lot of work. So 10 years back, the problem was not eminent because the risks and vulnerabilities were not so critical. But if some enterprise is sitting on those, let's say 10,000 or 1 million or 100,000 vulnerabilities, and they have no clue how serious and how good, bad, worse those vulnerabilities are, you are totally sitting on the risk. And I can't tell you how many enterprises are looking at those vulnerabilities or, one by one. Each vulnerability take a lot of time. Unless some true tool is solving for it, you need people. Same thing is with alerts. Same thing is with the 70 plus tools are in any enterprise which are solving for all these alerts. Year on year, 28%, at the rate of 28% CAGR, the number of alerts are increasing because you have new AI agents running, you have new tools coming up, you have new cloud coming up, you have new application built up, and the answer is you need more people. I'm not saying you need exponential people, or the directly proportional to the number of alerts, but you still need some good army of people who can build some of those products and then optimize some of those problems, over the time. And that's where I was about to answer your question when you say it is difficult, why people are not convinced. It's a human problem because they are looking at the visionary target state. Like, okay, after 5 years, we will have all the tools, everything will be done by the tool. But to get to the visionary state, you need to travel the distance. And to travel that distance, you need experienced people. That's where we all are struggling as founders.
Well, the thing too, that's, the tool is going to do most of it, but you always need somebody to oversee the tool because tools break. Tools break and they get it wrong
all the time. They're made by mankind.
That's what I mean. They're not infallible. So to your point, who do you want overseeing that tool? Somebody who has experience,
Exactly.
like it's, oh man.
It can be AI powered, but it has to be human led.
Human in the loop, man.
Human in the loop.
It's the biggest thing, man. Like AI is a tool. It's always going to be a tool. It's not the damn answer. Like you can't, it's definitely a cheat code for sure, but you still need to check think critically, for crying out loud.
And for that reason, if you know this word called reinforcement learning, you can automate it. But unless you have human running in that reinforcement learning for at least 5 to 10 years, You are asking machine to do the reinforcement learning, which is good, but it may not be long. It may be going towards the hallucination, because now you're asking machine to train the machine, but human has not provided their input, how they are thinking about the problems.
Context matters.
Yes. So any platform out there, like when people come to me and say, hey, I'm building an AI agentic platform. I said, great, that's fantastic. Okay, how it's going to work? Oh, it's automated. Not going to work.
There's no such thing, man.
Because it's like telling ChatGPT to give me something without even telling as a human like what I need.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, it can be optimized. I can speak just like you were, Adam. You were giving the whisper flow, right?
Yeah.
So I can use whisper flow to give the right context, but still I need to give that.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, and that's the larger point, right? Like even with what you're doing with Cyber RST here, like the context matters. It matters. I had no idea until we talked on the live the first time, the struggle of cyber career military people coming to the civilian world is just a completely different world. They have zero experience. The whole sum of the game has been reset the minute they get out of the military trying to come into the cyber world. And look, I know what it felt like to just have your career ended as an infantry guy. I can't imagine loving cyber, because most of the cyber people I talk to know how lucrative it is in the civilian world and want to continue to do it after their military career ends, but they don't have a fighting chance.
Correct. And there's another example. I don't know if you're watching the news, and this is very relevant to you, Bill and Jesse, as you're building Cyber RST. Look at all the companies and look at how many people. Look at the companies which are doing the AI work, because I want to defend that statement when someone is saying that, oh, humans are not needed or trained human are not needed in cyber. So there is a company recently got exposed last week, but look at the companies who are building the AI product. And they claim they don't have many people in the back end, which is great. But there is a company exposed recently. They were claiming they are AI company, and they found all the AI agents were the actual people agent working in the back end.
Yeah,
I don't want to name the company, but there were skilled people working in the back end. But again, that's a problem of how the founder or tech founder was trying to solve the problem.
Well, and that's when you start getting into this world, and this is a little off topic, but that's just the nature of the forward-facing thing that we are using as the public. There is humans on the back end of that. Like, it's just period.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the truth.
So our platform has Jesse's. I'm not like going off the record here, but I truly want to say that we have written 2400 rule set for our platform, which is helping detect and triage or classify the vulnerabilities and alerts. But to write those alerts or write those rule set, we need people. One person can write the rule set, up to maybe 10 or 15 sets a day. But to scale this product, where we have around 10,000 rule sets written in a year, we still need people, because those rule sets, ChatGPT can write it, but we tried that route, like generative AI, Copilot, and all the other good stuff, but it was not giving the right result. So ultimately, we ended up in relying upon human expertise in AI and cyber, so that they can write the right things, which can be used by the companies later. Yeah. So point is, if you track back everything goes back to the experienced, knowledgeable, expert human who can do the thing for the next 5 years. After 5 years, I can say that, oh yeah, it would be auto. Right now, we are not in autopilot phase. We are in a build phase. That's where the demand of people is there.
Speaking of build phase, Jesse, we're here for a really big reason. Look, the bottom line with any venture is you need capital, right? And you're here to try and find people who believe in what you're doing. You need to raise 50 grand.
Yeah, and we're trying to raise 75, but the minimum to keep it with a good old crowdfunding is we got to get 50,000. You go to Vegas, you go big or you go home, right? And 50,000 doesn't seem like much, but 50,000 will get us what we need software wise and get us off the ground.
So 50K or this dies.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reality. I'm not shitting on your thing, man, because I absolutely love what you've created, but that's just the truth of it. Like you need, in order to move forward from where you're at now, you need money. That's the name of the game.
Any startup, that's the name of the game, trying to raise cash. And I agree with William, Bill Turner. Yes, nothing can go without human oversight. You got to have the tools, and yeah, he's not wrong. Hundreds of tools are out there, but how do we bring them together? The one thing we are trying to differentiate ourselves is another thing is we have partnered up with C2H and the owners of C2H, Dr. Keith Casil and Kirk. And what we're trying to do is, especially for the veteran side of this, the service member side, is we want to get them soft skills, prepare them, and this is where C2H comes in. They help them with those soft skills, those leadership foundational skills, public speaking, how to do interviews, how to help them with resumes, and we're partnering with them because it's something we're not going to be able to provide. So we went out, I went out and found somebody that can help us with that. So that we were trying to give them the full package, all in one, instead of them having to go 10 different places to get it. You need one spot. Convenience, man. If we can get donuts delivered to our house or cookies for $30 at Crumble, I should be able to get it one spot, and that's the goal here. Like that's all. The American idealism is about convenience, baby, and that's what I'm trying to do is bring it into one spot. And that doesn't include what we're also trying to team up with. Future technologies. Pradeep knows exactly where I'm going with this. Nano and quantum are right around the corner. Right, and cyber's going to bleed right. It's already going to bleed into those. Think about it. China has blackout factories. Let's think about this for a second. Blackout factories, meaning there's no lights in there. They are running robots 24/7, 365, and pumping out products. A couple of humans are just overseeing it. It's not producing a lot of jobs, right?
To your point with the quantum stuff, I talked to two founders when I was in Chicago in October. That's their whole business is quantum cybersecurity, and I'm like, I didn't even think we were there with quantum. He's like, it's around the corner. Like, I'm gonna capitalize on this as fast as I possibly can. So, look, man, you're absolutely right because I don't know the first thing about cybersecurity at all, but I had conversations with people who are betting the farm on quantum cyber, and you're betting the farm on this version of cyber. And look, I'm not ignorant either. With AI, I get asked this question in discovery calls, sales calls all the time. What about privacy, data privacy, security of my data? It's like, well, man, I don't really have an answer for you right now because nobody has nailed that down yet. Like I don't even know where to start with it, particularly with AI. Like you give AI information, it's cloud-based, it's taking your data, period.
Yeah.
We walk around with a smartphone in our pocket that listens to everything that we do anyway. So
yeah, we as a society, I would say even the world, have given themselves up to the internet.
Yep.
You're out there. No matter what you do, you're gonna leave a digital footprint. And that's why I say cyber is so vital. You never, even I've been subjected to identity theft. I'm telling you, I changed my passwords to do the whole nine. I've had my debit card stolen multiple times. They have literally computers, have a little machine connect to the computer, and it just runs numbers until it finds a debit card that works or a credit card. Literally, there's machines for that.
And talking about quantum, Jesse, by the way, that's a topic which is close to my heart. I haven't done anything in that space, but it is still close to my heart.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to say that is if you look at the quantum and add cyber on top of it, right? Quantum people are needed, absolutely, infrastructure side, right? Compute and all that good stuff. Add cyber on top of it because quantum is going to kill multiple tools which are right now not able to solve 2 raised to the power 32. Right now you're talking about 2 raised to the power x, right? It can go to any number, right? So now we are adding the quantum to the cyber on top. You cannot have basic people play quantum unless they don't know the basic number.
Mm-hmm.
Where are those people right now? I would say if I look at like a typical search, I may say there could be 10,000 people worldwide who can talk about quantum cyber. Maybe not, and they may be trying to build their profile, which is a great thing to build the skill. But the moment the quantum is live, like Google is coming up with great work done by Google and many other vendors out there. But the moment the quantum problem is live, it can go out of our hand.
Yeah.
And then you need more people, and you cannot, like ask our interns or somebody with 2 or 3 years of experience to start solving it. So it has to be built into the pipeline, like you said, Jesse. Starting from high school, let's engage that course and then build up to the point so that we are ready to tackle the bigger problem in the next couple of years. And by the way, that is the reason I left a good paying job of Deloitte as a partner, said, okay, some of us as a leaders need to do more, which I believe, I can do something free flow here outside. But yeah, go ahead. You were saying something.
I was going to say, I know Michael Walker, he's in the quantum community, PhD in physics.
Awesome.
And he's talking about the United States is waiting until 2035, right? Post-quantum cryptography, what he's talking about is that, we don't want to wait till after. In the quantum community, because I'm in it, and I converse with a lot of them, they call it Q Day, harvest now, decrypt later. And what I mean by that, or what they mean by that, is that China's gathering information, Iran, pick one, Russia, they're taking the data we've got because they can't decrypt it yet, but quantum, it can break everything we've got. Once it's truly like a true quantum computer is going to be what they call qubits, right? 500,000 to 1 million qubits, it's going to be insane. And then you throw AI into quantum. I think once we get further into AI over the next couple of years, you throw AI onto quantum being a supercomputer. What is it going to be able to do?
Everything.
There's nothing that's going to stop it at that point. Nothing. So that's why all of this is so vital, especially with the advent of nano. I remember us being kids, and that was science fiction at the time. It was science fiction at the time, and now it's coming to fruition. I know probably one of the top ones in the world. His technology is out there. He's built a spider web with it, meaning factories all over the world, both research development and University of Vermont's got on his stuff. UC Berkeley, which is Ivy League. He wants to look at partnering with me because he knows that cyber is going to roll right into that. It is changing and it is coming. And that's why I'm trying to form these alliances now, because we've got to do something. Because once quantum truly goes live, we won't have any defenses to stop the other. China being the number 2 in the world, what are we going to do to stop them? India right now is leading the way in quantum computing. Australia and the United States are leading the way in quantum clocks and sensors, right? But the question is, especially with Chicago looking to be the largest spot in the world for quantum, secondary, the backup location is going to be the Palm Beach area. The question coming is how are we going to fix this now? I'm glad we got we're always quick about writing a check and throwing money at the wall. But like we've been talking about, going right back to building that expertise, the generation that is retiring, which is the baby boomers, our generation is trying to take over that old mindset of go get a degree, get your certifications, you're going to get a good job and stay at a company for 30 years. Those are gone, dog. Those are gone. The lady that helped found Copilot, she was with Microsoft for 2.5 decades. They laid her off. Right? And just like Michael Walker talked about right there, algorithm which runs efficient factoring of the coprimes, like he said, the difficulty of the problem, basis for much of modern cryptography, it will not be hard for a quantum computer. It will not.
Michael, that's what I was referencing to, 2 raised to the power 32, right? So that limit is gonna go up, gonna go out, and then everyone, from the cryptography standpoint, that could be the next thing people need to work upon.
Yeah,
wild. Jesse, give everybody all the needs that you have right now, man. Let's see if we can't raise some money, get some strategic partners, find those philanthropists who believe in what you're doing. If you're listening to this and you believe in this, please share this with everybody. Go to the Indiegogo link down in the scroll bar. Donate. I know they're at like $2,000 right now, which is better than what Jesse thought it was when he came into the green room. So, hey, it's going up, man.
Hey, it's going up. I really do believe in this cause. Like I've probably taken on a hydra. Like every time you cut off one head, 10 more pop up. Right? It's insanity. Some people would consider it the definition of insanity. I keep trying to do the same thing over and over and expecting a different result every time. Albert Einstein, we'd be boys, man. We would be boys. I'm telling you. I'm telling you personally that we are trying to raise this money for, again, an amazing cause. There's a problem that needs to be fixed. The older generation, again, I'm stubborn, but things are changing. And the younger generation behind us, you can hand them any piece of technology and they're done with it. They know how to do whatever. My son is 5 and can work a a smart TV better than I can. Right?
Yeah, it's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, my daughter is sitting making drawings on a tablet. I'm like, I would never be able to do that.
It's weird. It's wild.
It is crazy.
Yeah.
Right. And it's, the joke is that they're a whole new species. Right.
Right. I actually believe that because it's like they're born knowing how to do things. That I've been planted. I watched my little nephew. Right. He's 3 years old, something like that. He picks up YouTube and he knows how to do shit that I've been on YouTube forever and I don't know how to do this. Right. It's like, are you just born with this skill at this point?
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how did you find this on YouTube? You can't watch that. Right. Like being a father, it's we don't have I'm asking for any venture capitalists out there listening, for anyone that's willing to donate. We want to help veterans and their families, military members, fix the problem while they're in before they leave. I feel that there's a serious fault on the chain of command for not helping guys get prepared to get out, guys and gals get out of the military. The fact that this is still happening, we're having 20,000 suicides a year. Student suicide is going up as well. Nobody's talking about that, right? Nobody's talking about the fact that these college students are literally walking out with a mountain of debt, offing themselves, and are not facing the problem for these kids. What are they leaving the generation behind? Is they're facing the fact that they're not possibly having a job. They can't afford a home. Inflation's through the roof. You can't go and get $100 where a cart would fill you up with groceries. And now you're asking me to pay for certs on top of that? You're asking me to pay for things that aren't going to lead anywhere? That's why the average high school student is like, hell no, I'm not going to pay for college. It's a waste of time and it's a waste of money. And then the colleges are wondering why. They thought they would have, this bubble forever. We have a $3-4 trillion bubble that is waiting to pop. It's going to pop for student loan debt. I had to work my tail off to pay mine off, but the simple fact that the first time didn't work, now second, and I'm even adding on, I'll have 3 bachelors and 2 masters when I'm done with this in project management, because IT project management is up and coming. But, by our powers combined, we make Captain Planet. And for those of you that don't get that reference, go back and watch it, all right?
It's a great show. Great show.
Great show.
Great show, man. Like, I'm asking for people's help simply because I have a really good team we've been working pro bono for months, building the LMS, building the sandboxes, the virtual training environments. We want to have something that people really, they're like, hey, they can think back, human nature, like that the secondary instinct. Oh, this is what I need to do. And we're not going to make it easy. Like you said, click. How fast can I click through something to get what I need, right? And it's there. That's what needs to be changed, and that's what we are doing. We're trying to raise money to obviously keep our LMS going, our business management system as well, the learning management system, business management system. And these are veteran-owned companies that are helping us. I'm telling you, the veteran community is big, but it's small at the same time. And it's amazing what you can find within the community. They're like, dude, we love what you're doing. Bill and I have been talking all across the way. Even Oracle has reached out to Bill, and they need 4,000 jobs coming up. They have a large government contract dealing with their cloud. But the problem is, again, we go right back to square one. People are not trained. Yes, they've got a degree. Yes, they've got the cert, but they have never touched anything on the cloud. And these click-through videos are not going to work anymore. The stuff that are within the major certification companies, not going to work. The society, normal society, is not taking these as hands-on experience. They need, hey man, you're going to sit on front of this computer. We got to do it old school. You better pay attention or you're going to get smacked with a ruler, right? Like nobody would probably even get that reference.
Corporal punishment, man.
Yeah, corporal punishment. You're going to pay attention or else, right? And you get that mindset. You have to learn this because it is vital. The veteran community has that ingrained in them.
Yeah.
Like this is security. Right?
Well, you're also placating to the hands-on, right? Like you always learn something better than when you have to make each mouse click and type each keystroke, right? Versus I just click a mouse and wait for the timer to be up, and then there's ways to cheat. You can go to AI, especially if you have more than one monitor, and you can answer those tests, right? Because those exams aren't proctored.
No.
Well, one of the things
council, what's that?
I was going to say, one of the things, you're pointing out to it exactly, the tools that we're using in our environments, they are live environments. So if you take a look at like what most of these certification programs do, if they have you like write a piece of code, either you're cutting pasting it from your material, or you might have to type it out real quick. But what the exam actually does is basically almost like a spell check. Did you type it in the same way that it's typed in here? Yes or no? If no, try again. But you don't see what the results are of that bad code. Again, we want to.
I assume he said that you want the feedback. You want to give the student the feedback so that they can learn.
Yeah, we want them to know what happened. Why did this happen?
What did I just do?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Why did that break and why did it not work? But again, it's going, our whole program is built around our military days. And I'm sure you remember this phrase, the 200-hour man is the most dangerous guy on the team.
You actually remember that from when I got out and went to flight school. There's no more dangerous pilot than the 250-hour pilot.
Yeah, that's when you know enough to feel confident, but you don't know enough yet to fix when it goes sideways.
That's it, man. That's it. You gotta scare yourself a couple times in the aviation world. That's how you learn. You realize, oh, I'm at 250 hours, I'm good, and then you go have something major happen, and you're like, yeah, I'm not good at all. I got a lot to learn.
Yeah, and our program is designed to get them not only to that 200-hour man or 250-hour man, but to get them past it.
Mm-hmm.
So that when they're actually there and they have an oh crap moment at a company where they're going through a ransomware attack that did get through the net or something like that, they're not the ones freaking out like Chicken Little with their head cutting off, running around going, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. They're actually, okay, it got through. This is what we got to do next. Let's get working.
All right. Just come up with a plan and execute.
Exactly.
Well, the cool thing another thing is we're doing it, and Bill will attest, they're going to have to deal with different scenarios every day. Right?
So you're going to never seeing the same material twice, essentially.
Correct.
Yeah,
And
just throw them to the wolves, man. Like, why not? If you're in a training pipeline, that's the environment you should learn in, particularly with the sandboxes you've set up. It's like I've tried to get an intern to help with post-production on the podcast. For any of those that are interested in podcast post-production as a career, it's pretty lucrative. They don't want to do the intern stuff and work on a real project that's live, that I do all this stuff. They would rather just go to the school and play with this stupid little scenarios that don't really show you the problems. Oh, I had these corrupted files from this recording and I can't get this person back on. Like, shit like that is what I'm talking about. Like, you need to work on real projects, which is what you're solving for with your environment.
One of my biggest regrets is when I was in college, and Pradeep and Bill will probably agree with me on this. I should have done an unpaid internship. I should have went to a company, and they're out there. And again, this is where I feel that the American educational system is failing. You could talk to the average high school counselor. They don't know their head from a hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
You can get college paid for off your ACT, SAT score. Do you know most people don't know? I didn't know that. So I got $88,000 in student loan debt, right? And it's an easy fix. My dad warned me, but my cousin, book smart as all get out. Got a 36, 37 on the ACT, presidential scholarship, man. Did not have to try when it came to books.
Yes.
But the average learner, especially when it comes to males, right?
Yeah.
If you think,
And just
you need to learn audio, hearing, visual, eyes, and doing, right? The touch. Those three you will memorize.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Right.
And I think, just to your point, if you think of the broader learning problem, the first internship or the first job decide your next 20 years. That's how it typically works, right? Like right now that tenure is reduced to maybe 10 years or 5 years. So one of the regret I have in my life is wish I could have started my first job as cyber, or maybe second job as cyber, because I picked cyber after 5 to 7 years or around 10 years, like after I was with my 2.5 decades of experience. And the problem was there was no cyber course back then which can help me scale.
Mm-hmm.
Was like Google came back in 2002 and 2003 when everyone started using. The lack of books, lack of hands-on experience. But I think that's where the structure of the education for cyber has to change. You cannot just say that, okay, there's a course.
MARION on the map.
Exactly. So there has to be the combination. I would call it out as integrated learning.
It should be the blue dot where you are. Just zoom in right there.
Yeah. bill is in demand. So point I was trying to say that is, like if there's a 5 hours of a course somebody has to complete, 3 hours could be the education theoretical, but 2 hours has to be hands-on, where he's actually playing with the problems. Like you said, like eyes, ears, and then hands-on. Is the person who is learning, is he writing something? Is he experiencing the real problem? Is he looking at the real controls? If not, again, he will forget what he's trying to do. So
agreed. It's not a hard problem. We have our 5-month program made. We're building out a 12-month for people that've never done IT cyber. And we're also, we're bringing in everything: digital forensics, the certified ethical hacker. We've got all the certs. All that is in place. The partnerships are in place for those. We're going to be making, again, what's in society needs to be crammed into a learning environment, and they have to know how to use it. Again, the cyber softwares, and we've got 8 of the major cyber software players. And we're going to go as more comes along, like CrowdStrike. Hey, guess what? I got to knock on a door, make a phone call. I'm like, hey, dude, we need to talk about your product. These guys need to learn it, right? I mean, a great example is what just happened with AWS. Somebody who's solely relying on AI and not checking the work. Yeah. I don't know if it's naivety or stupidity. It's one of the two, bro.
Both.
I'm pretty sure he's out of the job, but he took AI coding and just crammed it into the system on AWS's clouds, and they fired him. I mean, he cost them a lot of money, hundreds of millions, if not pushing billions of dollars, because there's 3 companies that control the internet. If you think about it: Google, Microsoft, and Amazon right now.
Right now.
And one of them goes down. Exactly what happened. Canvas was down. The government was down. Pick one. The entire Eastern Seaboard was down.
Dude, it's miserable when Cloudflare goes down. It's not a good day.
No. That's why I feel like the one thing that makes America great is the competition. That's what brings prices down. Okay. You know how we actually won World War II? A lot of people don't understand this. Is mass production. We provided the tanks, the guns, the grenades. Russia provided the army, right? Britain provided, at the time, the Air Force. We literally took their engine and crammed it into our aircraft, and we're like, hey, you need more aircraft? Here you go. and we've lost that way. That's why I say, whether you agree or disagree with the current administration, I've been barking like a dog at a tree, yelling at the squirrel. Well, he's throwing nuts down at me. Bring production back to the United States. Bring mass production back. It needs to be in that same facet, the same mindset needs to be in everything. There's 10 million jobs. Pradeep and I have talked about over 10 million jobs available worldwide and counting with cyber. Now you've got quantum on the advent, and nano's right around the corner. These are around the corner, can produce a lot of jobs. Everybody's like, oh, AI is going to take all of it. Okay, if you say so, you just have to learn how to use the tool. And I even talked to Adam about it. It's just like social media, man. I'm like, God, here's something else I have to deal with, right? But that is human nature. What stopped the buggy in the cart was the automobile.
Yeah.
Right? Overnight, New York was tired of dealing with dead horses and manure. That's why the steps are raised in a New York house. Right? Let's go back historically. Everybody's like, oh, it's the end of the world. Same thing when electricity came out. People were shooting at guys making the power lines. So if you take what happened, it created a new career. What was it? The taxi driver. Right? It never been seen before. They're like, hey, get in the back of the car, I'm driving you around. Now we got Uber. You're driving in somebody's Kia. It doesn't smell really well because the last guy had just been out drinking the night before.
And you got robo-taxis now.
Yeah, robo-taxis are there, right?
Yeah.
A programmer's sitting and he's making what's going into that vehicle. So why can we not do the same with cybersecurity? Please tell me. Please tell me why we can. And they're good paying jobs. There is a high burnout rate. Again, the layoffs that hit last year because they think they're going to be, these companies it's going to hit them. It's going to hit them. And we're talking about it. They think they're going to be able to rely solely on AI, and it's not going to happen. They're going to come out and be like, well, maybe we let off too many. Yeah, hopefully when your bank accounts start hurting, they'll learn a lesson, but probably not.
Well, they'll learn the lesson when they have the big crash, and they're like, oh, and then it's too late, right? And then then you're playing catch up instead of future proofing your own business.
Well, 72.5 million accounts from Under Armour just got hacked.
Brother, I look, man, you guys are in cyber. I get hacked every freaking day. I get a new email every day. You're part of a class action lawsuit from a data breach in 2012. And it's like, I had no idea, right? Like it's
where's my money?
I could probably go through my emails right now and find at least one of those emails.
Oh,
So,
easy.
you know, you're pointing out an obvious problem that I think we all just ignore because we don't know anything about it, right?
Yeah.
Brother, I'm so glad you reached out to be able to put you on and do this. Just give everybody where they can donate money to. Also, what does the ideal investor look like to you?
Somebody that can see our vision, that we are here to fix the problem. And the problem is we want to build a mentorship with a hands-on experience and get them a residency at different companies across the country and possibly even around the world with everything we're doing to reach out. Because again, I'm in the quantum community. I'm dealing and been weaseling my way into nano. There's a problem, and the problem is people need hands-on experience, and they want to have that feeling again of being wanted within a company, not just being a number. But unfortunately, right now, if you guys look at the job market, people are just being viewed as a number and they're being laid off. And my brothers and sisters that are veterans, I know how you feel. I've slept in my car more than once. Again, over 1,400 tries to get the current job I just lost. And losing my government job last year, I know exactly how you feel. I'm working at Starbucks on the weekends trying to pay for my pipe dream, still teaching college when I can. The Department of Education has been crushed. I've been working 4 jobs at a time, trying to get this going and getting us to where we want to be. And ideal investor in me is just crazy enough as this bunch to bring it together, help us bring it together and make sure we get it off the ground.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate you trusting me to put you on and bring this to the world. It speaks volumes that Pradeep's here, believes in your vision. That should be proof. I know that you have the pitch decks, you have all the business plans and the marketing plans and all that you need for these investors. So if you are a VC or an investor, you see this, you're interested in the cybersecurity space and you have way too much money that you don't know what to do with, give Jesse a shot because
give me a holler.
Yeah, that's it, man. Give him a shot because I'm pretty sure he'll blow you away. Fellas,
and if y'all blow Jesse up, I'm available too.
There you go. Yeah, Bill.
So pretty, baby. We're all here.
And also with the crowdfunding, people are like $50,000. My $50 won't mount for much, but think about it. If our community comes together and we've got 1,000 people that generate, just do a donation on Indiegogo of $50 each. With what we've already raised, we're actually already over the 50K, and that funding is secured, and we have what we need for our tool sets and to get ourselves to soft launch. It's not hard if everybody just steps together and just engages and sees the vision and goes, I want to contribute to fixing something because my kid wants to go to school, wants to go into IT and cyber. Hey, let's get this fixed before your kid gets to school so he's actually got a way to get a job. Unlike a lot of people we talk to right now that are college graduates, just standard college graduates are going, I can't get a job, but I just got a master's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And Bill, I will do my $50 part just to start volunteering on this. And Adam, JC, and Bill, thank you for hosting me on this, and good luck with the fundraising. And I'm very sure you will hit the bar which you're raising for the community and yourself. And happy to support you, and looking forward to be on next time as well. If you need anything more for me to jump in.
Awesome.
Thank you so much, Pradeep. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Everybody, I will be live again next Wednesday, same time, with another awesome veteran who's in the transition space. So tune in for that, and keep watching everything on LinkedIn. I'm going to promote or put out whatever Jesse sends my way and keep you updated on this campaign and all of that. And I'll be sure to let you know when this thing actually launches and we can start sending guys and gals through the pipeline, brother.
Soft launch is March 16th. We're looking for 20 to 30 students who are feeling crazy, want to jump in with us and just tear up our systems. So that way we can work out the bugs for before we do our hard launch in July. But
there it is. For those of you listening, March 16th, you got a golden opportunity right here.
Come in and try out something that has not been done in cybersecurity. March 16th. Not only that, I forgot to mention CISP. You have to have a minimum of 5 years experience and someone to sponsor you. So HR, if you're listening, that is not the case for CISP. So please change that. It is not the case. All right, please stop posting that on job postings. I'm tired of seeing it. So tired of seeing it. But we want to bring in as many students as we can for our platform.
Because I think I made a wrong turn.
Perfect.
So
All right, guys. Take care, everybody. Thanks again, man, for
Yeah.
being here, and good luck, dude. Let me know how I can help, and we'll see you guys all next time I'm live next Wednesday.
Sure.
Take care.
Thank you.